You'd think checking a bag is the easy part of flying, right? Hand it to the counter, get a tag, stroll to your gate, done. What could possibly go wrong? A lot. Because the second your suitcase disappears behind that black rubber curtain, it vanishes into a hidden underworld you'll never see. Conveyor belts rattling in the dark. Cargo holds slammed shut in freezing air. Pressure shifts that make bottles burst. And a parade of strangers who will, without a second thought, toss it like it's a sack of potatoes that owes them money. And in 2025, the systems are faster, harsher, and far less forgiving. One tiny mistake could send your suitcase to the wrong city, or worse, leave it cracked open on the tarmac, soaked in jet fuel, rainwater, or even dog pee. Yes, that's real. It's not just bad luck when luggage goes missing. It's a game stacked against you. Because baggage handlers, they've seen everything. They've got stories that'll make you cringe. And today we're pulling back the curtain to show you what they wish every traveler knew before checking a bag. Number 1. The wrong kind of bag and why it gets punished. That soft duffel bag with dangling straps, side pockets, and loose handles, perfect for tossing in your car trunk. But for the airport conveyor belt system, it's basically a ticking time bomb. Checked bags don't glide through the system like smooth luggage commercials would have you believe. They get shoved, slammed, stacked in piles, and drop 6 feet onto hard concrete floors. Those floppy straps, they snag in the machines. Zippers get jammed, handles rip off like paper. And when that happens, your bag can get flagged for manual inspection, which is just code for delays or worse. It gets pulled aside and left behind. A ramp agent once said it best: "If your bag has stuff hanging off it, I already don't like it." And that means trouble for you. So what actually works? A clean, hard-shell suitcase. Think sleek, flat design with 0 outer pockets, no dangling bits, just one solid piece of gear. Polycarbonate shells are your best friend here, tough enough to take a beating, resilient enough to protect your belongings when that bag inevitably takes a waist-high body slam onto the ground. Bottom line, if your suitcase can't survive being thrown, dragged, or stacked under 5 others, it's not fit for the battlefield known as airport baggage handling. Choose gear that fights back, not gear that folds under pressure. Number 2, old tags, wrong destinations, and bags that fly without you. Every suitcase tells a story, but here's the ugly truth. The only story TSA and airline scanners care about is today's. If you leave old airline tags or faded barcodes stuck to your bag, you're basically begging the system to make a mistake. Those machines don't care about your vacation plans. They scan whatever code is easiest to read. And sometimes, that means your suitcase gets rerouted to the wrong city entirely. Think it's rare? Nope. Bags have been sent to Dallas while the passenger was landing in Denver. Others have ended up on transatlantic flights, a lonely suitcase sipping stale air on its way to Frankfurt while its owner was still boarding in Philadelphia. And all because last summer's Vegas barcode was never peeled off. It sounds ridiculous, but it happens every single day. Imagine standing at baggage claim, the carousel spinning endlessly, and realizing your bag is already halfway across the country because of a 2-inch sticker you forgot to rip off. So before you even leave your house, give your bag a clean slate. Strip every barcode, every tag, every airline sticker, even those little priority labels. Your suitcase should scream one thing and one thing only: this flight, this airport, this destination. Anything else is just confusion waiting to happen. Number 3, personalizing your bag without sabotaging it. Let's be honest, after a 10-hour flight, no one wants to play the cruel game of which of these 97 identical black bags is mine. That's why personalizing your luggage is smart. But how you do it? That's where most travelers blow it. The classic move, a ribbon tied to the handle, seems clever until it gets yanked into a conveyor belt, torn off, or worse, jams the system. Same with those rainbow-colored straps. Ramp workers have admitted they sometimes grab those on purpose just to launch the bag easier. Translation: you've turned your suitcase into a chew toy. So what actually works? Flat, bold, unmistakable markings that don't snag. One traveler slapped a giant yellow lightning bolt of duct tape across his hard shell. Impossible to miss. Another had a SpongeBob sticker big enough to be seen from space. And one woman went all in with a custom luggage wrap featuring her dog's face blown up larger than life. Guess what? Nobody ever walked away with her suitcase by mistake. You don't have to go that extreme, but think in the same direction. Big, bold, flat, snag-free. Even a custom luggage cover in a loud color can do the trick. You want your bag to stand out instantly at baggage claim, not disappear into a sea of lookalikes, and definitely not get mangled by machinery. Number 4. Disguise it, don't mummify it. If your suitcase looks like it belongs in a 5-star hotel lobby, guess what? It's going to get noticed, and in airports, noticed is not what you want. A flashy, pristine $500 carry-on screams "Inspect me," sometimes to thieves, sometimes to over-curious TSA agents, and sometimes to a bored ramp worker who figures there's probably something expensive inside. Here's the trick. Disguise it. A simple luggage cover, those stretchy sleeves that slip over your bag, can transform your designer roller into something that looks like it came straight out of Lost and Found. Perfect. You're not just throwing off would-be thieves, you're also shielding your suitcase from the airport's unofficial trademarks, grease streaks, forklift scuffs, and mystery liquids you do not want to identify. Some travelers take it further and pay $15 to $20 for full plastic wrapping at international airports. It looks tamper-proof, and in a way, it is. But here's the catch. Baggage handlers hate it. When the wheels jam, a wrapped bag can't roll, so they drag it instead. And dragged bags don't just get dirty, they get beaten. Slammed into concrete, scraped along tarmac. So yes, disguise your bag, make it less shiny, protect it, but don't overdo it. Because the moment you turn your suitcase into a shrink-wrapped mummy, you've practically guaranteed it a rougher ride. Number 5. Locks that survive. TSA and the ones that don't. Most travelers think slapping a lock on their suitcase means security. Reality check. If TSA wants inside and your lock isn't approved, they don't wait, they don't ask, they don't care. Snip. Gone. Sometimes they'll leave the broken lock pieces inside your bag as a twisted souvenir. Sometimes they'll just zip tie your suitcase shut like it came straight out of an evidence locker. That's why TSA-approved locks exist. You'll know them by the tiny red diamond symbol. That mark tells agents they can open your bag with a master key, inspect it, then lock it again without destroying anything. It doesn't make your suitcase Fort Knox, but it saves you from finding a mangled zipper and a passive-aggressive "inspected by TSA" slip stuffed between your socks. Brands like Forge, Travelmore, or Master Lock sell them cheap, usually under $10, often in multi-packs so the whole family can secure their bags. Are they unbreakable? No, a professional thief could still pry them open. But here's the point. You're not protecting against Ocean's 11, you're protecting against careless cuts and broken zippers. Think of it this way, a TSA-approved lock won't stop the world's best criminal, but it will stop your suitcase from getting butchered just because you used the wrong kind of lock. Number 6. The genius of snapping a photo before you zip it shut. Be honest, could you list every single thing in your suitcase right now? Most travelers think they'll remember, but the second their bag vanishes, their brain goes blank. The airline's first question is always the same. Can you describe what was inside? And 9 out of 10 people stutter through it. Was that blue shirt in this bag or the carry-on? How many chargers did you pack? Which jacket brand was it again? That's why one of the smartest, easiest habits you can build takes just 10 seconds. Lay out your stuff, snap a clear photo, then zip the bag shut. Done. If your luggage gets lost or rifled through, that single photo becomes your lifeline. Proof for the airline, evidence for insurance, and a sharp reminder for your own memory. Insurance companies actually love this. It removes the guesswork. No vague claims, no "I think I had" arguments, just proof. One traveler shared how their refund went through in days because they had both a photo and a short item list. No pushback, no delays. It's such a tiny action, yet it changes the entire outcome if things go wrong. 10 seconds now could save you weeks of back and forth with an airline that insists your lost jacket never existed. Number 7, why you should never check valuables. Every single day, people make the same mistake. They check things that should never leave their sight. Jewelry, electronics, passports, medication, even cash, all casually tossed into checked luggage like it's a bank vault. But the cargo hold isn't a vault, it's chaos. Bags get delayed, tossed, crushed, sometimes even vanish into thin air. And airlines? They'll shrug. Here's the part most travelers don't realize. Airlines have liability limits. They're only on the hook for so much, and high-value items are usually excluded. That means even if you file a claim, there are loopholes galore, and the payout will never match what you lost. Imagine losing a laptop worth $2,000 and getting reimbursed for maybe $300. Brutal. And it's not just theft or loss, sometimes it's pure bad luck. Pressure changes, rough handling, even weather damage. I've seen someone check an expensive watch wrapped in clothes. It arrived cracked, gears broken, completely useless. So here's the golden rule. If losing it would ruin your trip, don't check it. Keep it in your personal item always. Your passport with you, your medication with you. Anything that can't be easily replaced with you. Because once that suitcase disappears behind the counter, you've surrendered control and your valuables may never come back. Number 8, the nightmare of exploding liquids. Picture this. You arrive at your hotel, unzip your suitcase, and instantly regret every packing choice you made. That fancy sunscreen? Burst? The glass bottle of cologne you swore would survive? Shattered. The body lotion you thought was harmless? It's now marinating your socks, shoes, and anything unlucky enough to be near it. This isn't a freak accident, it happens all the time. Cabin pressure shifts during flight. Bags get flipped, rolled, stacked sideways, lids pop off, seals break, and suddenly your suitcase smells like a perfume factory meltdown. One traveler told the story of packing a sleek glass duty-free perfume bottle, only to open their bag and find every shirt drenched in a choking cloud of luxury fragrance. Not exactly the souvenir they had in mind. The solution is simple, but non-negotiable. Seal every liquid. Use sturdy zip-top bags. Invest in leak-proof travel bottles, and for high-risk items, double bag them like they're heading into quarantine. Don't just toss them on top, bury them in the center of your suitcase, cushioned by clothes and kept far away from valuables or electronics. You don't need to bubble wrap your entire toiletry kit, but you do need to respect the physics of checked baggage. Because here's the reality. Your suitcase is going to get treated like it owes someone money. And your shampoo bottle? It doesn't stand a chance unless you've packed it like it's being shipped to space. Number 9. The hidden list of banned items in checked bags. Most people think TSA rules are all about carry-ons. Wrong. Checked luggage comes with its own landmines, and packing the wrong thing can trigger delays, confiscations, or your suitcase getting pulled from the flight entirely. Fireworks? Instant no-go. Fuel canisters? Forget it. Lithium batteries? Absolutely not. Pepper spray? Banned. Even seemingly harmless items, like a camping stove or a souvenir knife, can spark a full manual inspection and earn your bag a big red "Do Not Load" tag. Here's the kicker. TSA doesn't stand there at the counter explaining this to you. You're expected to already know, which means if you screw up, there's no sympathy. Your bag is delayed, sometimes destroyed, and you're left scrambling. Luckily, there's a tool most travelers don't even realize exists. Head to TSA.gov and search "What can I bring?" It's the exact same database TSA agents use. Type in anything, essential oils, battery pack, even chest set, and it'll instantly tell you if it's allowed in carry-on, checked, both, or neither. Flying internationally? Double the homework. Just because TSA clears it doesn't mean other countries do. Some places ban items the US allows, and the last thing you want is your suitcase flagged overseas where rules are even stricter. Bottom line, ignorance isn't an excuse, and the wrong item in your bag can mean your trip starts with chaos instead of vacation. Number 10, why you always need a spare outfit in your carry-on. You check your bag, board the plane, land safely, and then reality hits. Your suitcase didn't make it. Maybe it's still sitting at your departure airport. Maybe it's halfway to another country. Either way, you're staring at the carousel as it empties, realizing you've got nothing but the clothes on your back. This happens more often than airlines admit. Sometimes the bag's just delayed. Other times, it's gone on its own little adventure. But here's the trick that can turn a total nightmare into just an inconvenience. Always pack a spare outfit in your carry-on. One fresh shirt, a clean pair of underwear, socks, maybe even pajamas if you've got space. It sounds small, but when you're stranded for 24 hours without your luggage, that one outfit feels like striking gold. Traveling with kids, this move becomes non-negotiable. One mom shared how her son's suitcase went missing, but because she and her husband had packed backup outfits for him in their own bags, they were completely fine. No meltdown, no last-minute shopping spree. Think of it as insurance you can wear. You may never need it, but the one time you do, you'll thank yourself 100 times over. Number 11, why checking in too early can backfire. Everyone preaches the same gospel. Get to the airport early, and sure, arriving early is smart for you, but for your bag, not always. In fact, checking your luggage too early can actually increase the risk of it going missing. Here's why. The sooner your suitcase disappears behind the counter, the longer it sits in the system unsupervised. More time in limbo means more chances to be mishandled, misrouted, or simply forgotten. Ramp agents have admitted this online. Those first checked bags often get tossed into the bottom of the cart, loaded first, and sometimes even pulled off if the plane's weight balance needs adjusting. Translation: your bag has more time and more opportunities to wander off course. Meanwhile, bags checked closer to departure tend to move through the system more smoothly, scanned, loaded, and sent on their way with less downtime. Of course, you shouldn't cut it razor thin and risk missing check-in altogether, but if you've got time to burn, aim to check your luggage around 45 minutes before boarding. That's the sweet spot, late enough to reduce its unsupervised time, but safe enough to guarantee it makes the flight. Ironically, when it comes to baggage handling, last in often does mean first out. Number 12, tracking your bag like a pro. Once your suitcase disappears behind that check-in counter, you're basically flying blind, unless, of course, you take control. The good news? These days you can. Most major airlines now let you track your bag in real time through their apps. Delta, United, American, they'll show you exactly when your bag was scanned, when it was loaded, and even which carousel it'll end up on. Free, accurate, and surprisingly reassuring, but if you want full peace of mind, you don't stop there. Slip a tiny tracker like an Apple AirTag or Samsung Smart Tag inside your suitcase. These pocket-sized devices sync with your phone and give you a GPS-level map of where your bag really is, even when the airline is clueless. One traveler told the story. Her luggage didn't arrive. The airline swore they had no idea where it went, but her phone showed the bag was still sitting back at the departure airport. She walked up, showed the map, and within minutes, staff had tracked it down. Without the tag, she would have been in for days of runaround. Pro tip: tuck the tracker inside a liner or hidden pocket so it doesn't get spotted. They're legal. The lithium content is under FAA limits, and honestly, they can save your entire trip. Because when it comes to baggage, knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. Number 13, backup ID, the lifeline inside your bag. Ever seen those lonely bags circling the carousel with no tags, no owners, just spinning like lost souls? Happens every single day. Maybe the tag got soaked in the rain. Maybe it ripped off in the cargo hold. Either way, once that tag is gone, your suitcase becomes a mystery object until someone opens it up. That's why you need a backup ID inside your bag. Print a simple card at home with your full name, phone number, email, and your hotel or final destination address. Slip it under the lid, or, better yet, seal it inside a small plastic luggage tag and attach it to an interior zipper. Out of sight, but ready when it matters? Why is this so critical? Because your name alone usually isn't enough. Airlines handle thousands of John Smiths, but a working phone number in bold, legible print, that's the golden ticket. It turns a lost bag nightmare into a quick phone call. Instead of days of forms and frustration, you might get your suitcase back the very same day. Think of it as insurance no airline will ever provide. One scrap of paper, 1 minute of prep, and you've built yourself a lifeline. Number 14, special items demand immediate inspection. Not every suitcase is just socks and t-shirts. Sometimes you're flying with something special, a guitar, a snowboard, golf clubs, a CPAP machine, or even a high-end camera tripod. These aren't just bags. They're fragile gear that airlines will rough handle unless you step in. Here's the rule. The moment you grab it off the carousel, stop. Right there, in the airport. Open the case, inspect it, check every inch. Because once you walk out those sliding doors, your chances of filing a successful damage claim plummet. One passenger's folding wheelchair frame cracked mid-flight. Because he inspected it on the spot, the airline replaced it in full. Another traveler opened his guitar case right at baggage claim, found the neck snapped, and walked away with reimbursement. If they had waited until the hotel, it would have been their word against the airlines. These items are too valuable, too personal, and too irreplaceable to risk playing nice. 2 minutes of checking can save you thousands of dollars, and the heartbreak of trying to prove damage later. So whatever special item you're hauling, treat baggage claim as your inspection checkpoint. It's the only moment the airline can't deny responsibility. Number 15. What baggage handlers really think, and the brutal truth they admit. If you've ever wondered how your bag is really treated behind the curtain, here's the unfiltered truth straight from the people who do it for a living. Baggage handlers. They've seen it all, and they don't sugarcoat it. One handler put it bluntly, if it has 4 wheels, we roll it. If it doesn't, we throw it. Another said, soft bags with side handles, we deadlift those like sandbags, and they don't last long. Plastic wrapped luggage, they hate it. It's slippery, hard to grip, and when the wheels jam, they drag it across the ground. Slam, scrape, repeat. Overstuffed bags, those are the worst. They explode on the belt, one worker admitted. We end up scooping people's underwear off the floor like confetti. It's not cruelty, it's survival. These crews move thousands of bags in miserable conditions. Rain, snow, blazing heat. They don't have time to baby your luggage. To them, it's not your precious vacation gear. It's just another object in an endless chain of boxes and bags. So what's the takeaway? Don't pack like your suitcase will be treated gently. Pack like it's heading into a war zone. Reinforce fragile items, use packing cubes, never trust outer zippers with anything important. Your bag isn't being pampered, it's being tested. Build it tough or be ready to watch it fail. So there you have it, 15 brutally honest tips that can mean the difference between a smooth trip and a nightmare at baggage claim. Some are small habits, peeling off old tags, snapping a photo, tossing a spare outfit in your carry-on. Others are game changers, choosing the right suitcase, tracking your bag with tech, or inspecting your special gear the second it hits the carousel. Put them together, and you're no longer a passenger at the mercy of the system. You're a traveler who knows how the system really works. The truth is, baggage handling will never be perfect. Bags will always be thrown, dragged, soaked, and sometimes misplaced. But with these strategies, you can outsmart the chaos, protect your valuables, and avoid the horror stories that too many travelers shrug off as bad luck. Remember, your suitcase is not just luggage, it's your trip in a box. Treat it like it's going into battle because behind that rubber curtain, it is. If this breakdown helped you, hit the like button, share it with a travel buddy, and drop your worst luggage horror story in the comments. Trust me, you're not the only one with scars. And don't forget to subscribe for more travel hacks airlines never tell you, but you'll be glad you knew before your next flight. Here's to your next trip ending the way it should, with your bag clean, closed, and waiting for you right where it belongs.